Well, Seita seems strong on the surface, but he cries every time Setsuko shows some kind of bravery. For example, when she says, "I heard from Auntie that my mom is already dead and sleeping in the grave," he starts crying like a baby. On the other hand, after Setsuko dies, he doesn't cry at all. Even when he lies next to her body overnight, he remains expressionless. He lies next to her like this, and this scene is where he's cremating her body. Takahata intentionally drew his face with a blank expression. We can only see the red reflection of the fire in his eyes. He chose expressionlessness rather than sadness. And there's a good reason for this. So, even though the actors are expressionless, the audience sometimes sees sadness in them. This is called the Kuleshov Effect. This is an effect discovered by a filmmaker in Russia. No, maybe before the Soviet Union era. This is an example often used to explain the effect. If you show an expressionless man and a dead body of a child in turn, you think that this man is sad. Expressionless man and a hot soup makes you think that this man is hungry. Expressionless man and a flirtatious woman makes you think that the man is filled with lust. It is also called montage theory. Montage literally means editing films. So the Kuleshov effect is basically about creating psychological effects through editing. On the other hand, Miyazaki hates the Kuleshov effect. He hates it. He's against it. I'll tell you what Miyazaki likes. This is Dola from Laputa Castle in the Sky. "Don't be such a pussy. You ought to do that on your own." And then she says to herself, might not be a bad idea. We can get that girl on our side, you see? She's explaining herself. He makes it really easy for the audience to understand the character. On the other hand, Takahata doesn't want to have the characters explaining themselves too much with extra lines, making them easy for the audience to understand. So he uses this Kuleshov effect and shows the expressionless Seita to express his devastation. What I'm trying to say is that the reason why we cry so much in this scene is because we automatically believe that Seita is suppressing his sadness. We imagine that he's suppressing his sadness and trying to look normal and brave. That's why we get so emotional. But it's more like he has lost his humanity. He has lost all his human emotions. That's why he gets hungry and eats whatever is left. He's relieved that he doesn't have to take care of her anymore. When the author Akiyuki Nozaka discussed this scene with Takahata before the film was made, he said, "I'm not a great person. Honestly, I was relieved when my sister died." He begged Takahata to include this in the film, and Takahata made a promise. So he's pretty calm when he goes to buy the charcoal to cremate Setsuko's body. Seita, who was furious when he heard that the combined fleet sunk, is now emotionless. He doesn't even react much when the charcoal seller tells him, "It'll burn well if you take off her clothes and cremate her with the bean skins." He becomes more and more dehumanized, less human. Whereas we, the audience, on the other hand, regain our humanity watching Seita lose his own humanity. And so we're moved and we cry. So the structure is acrobatic in a way. Takahata depicts the process of Seita losing his humanity in a very subtle way, by indicating that he actually ate the porridge and the watermelon. But he never shows Seita eating like a pig. So he's really elegant in a way. You must look very closely or else you'll miss out on these things. I'll now explain why Takahata doesn't stress this process too much, although he depicts it quite carefully. So part 1 was all about the first 5 seconds of the film.